What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You haven't seen this MT-09 SP before. I just bought this one. I no longer have an R7, and in this video today we're putting some goodies on it. We're going to see how she goes. Alright, so you're going to start by taking these panels off. These are pretty easy. They just have one bolt and one clip underneath. One push clip. Pop them out. You just pop that up, and then you pretty much just pull back and it'll pop off. There's two studs and there's two rubber grommets that they go into, so pretty easy for that. Same on the other side, one bolt and one clip. Lift up over the stud and pull back. There we go. Gear on either side. So pop that. Take these two bolts off here, one on either side, these hex ones. This will just lift straight up. Be careful not to scratch anything. So you want to have the bars straight. And what we're going to do here, we're going to loosen these bolts, the front tank bolts, just a little bit. Both sides. We're going to take the seat off as well. And next we just want to take these four bolts off. Alright, so the first thing I want to do now is start lifting the tank. Don't pull too hard because everything's still attached. I'll pop a rag under for the fuel. So we just pop this little greyish, greenish tab down. We can slide our fuel hose off. It might be pressurized, so that's why you put the rag there. Just be careful. And then we're going to unplug the fuel pump. And then there's two vent lines up at the front on the right side. There's one, there's two. They're usually pretty easy. They only have little push clips, so they're usually pretty easy to get off. And then from there we'll just gently place the tank back down and take these front bolts out that we already loosened. Once you got both bolts out, be very gentle with the tank because it will move around quite a bit and you don't want to scratch the frame. We have to take a stupid amount of screws out of the top of the airbox. With the ECU that's on top, you can just slide the cable out, and the same on the other side. Just slide it out and then start pushing the ECU back. That'll slide right off. And then we take all these screws out and getting the cameraman involved on this one. And then just on this side here, there's a little sensor, twist and lift to get that off. I mean, the bike has 6,000 Ks. I wasn't expecting it to be super filthy, but we're going to upgrade this anyway. So we got the DNA air filter. That's the stock one. The flow difference is quite big. Like the whole frame on this is a filter. Whereas this, they're like only sucking through this small portion. There's all this like wasted area. So there's a lot more surface area on this filter. I've heard people say that the stock one's good, they flow well. That's just proof, like you can get more flow. And this, you never have to buy this again. You just re-oil it. On this one, you do have to like push it down quite firmly. Line it up where the old filter went. Quad lock smart adapter, and I'm just like sizing everything up and seeing how I want to lay it out. These are super easy install, and since we're doing the air filter, I'll do this at the same time as well. There's a bit of a seal in there to like seal up this connection so it's nice and waterproof. I probably will remove that though when I'm not using it and just put it under the seat. So I'm gonna try and feed it out through this hole. I'm just gonna tuck it under here I can get my hand up in there a little bit and up under here, so I'm hoping I might be able to finesse it up to there. Well, it took quite a bit of finessing to get it up through there, but yeah, that's pretty much perfect. I mean, there's a lot of bulk wiring. So again, just still test fitting everything up. Make sure I've got the right lengths. I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to pinch here when I'm turning, which we've already checked. Pretty much at about that much slack, it's really good. It doesn't get in the way of anything. It's pretty much perfect there. Put this back on as well over here. So I've got it all in there nicely. You just want to make sure you get this really seated. So you want to get it all down like nice and even. Make sure it's seated. You'll feel it. Once you get it down past this tab, you can lock it sideways and then that's locked in. Slide the ECU back in and then just tuck those cables away. Obviously be gentle with your cables, always. You never want to yank on them too hard, especially when it's on the ECU. Alright, that's all tight. Now we can focus on finishing this up. I'm going to try and get cable tie or something on it under the frame here to just keep it out off the engine a little bit. Got plenty of slack here, so I can move the cable around if I'm charging like this or like this, and then sort of figured out if I like tuck it up like that, I can kind of tuck it in the triple clamps here and like hide it away when I'm not using it. So that's pretty cool. You want to leave yourself enough slack to be able to, because I was going to do it like this, but I felt like it just was pulling a lot, so I just gave myself that little bit extra for the freedom. You can see an ABS line from here, so it's easy to access for a cable tie. So I'm going to tie it off there as well. It's nice and secure away from everything, and that's got a good amount of slack up here, as I said. So when I turn the bars, this cable pretty much stays in that exact position the whole way across, and like there is a little bit of play there, like just enough. And then I'll be able to tie the rest of this up nicely in the back of the bike. Ties in very nicely with the factory stuff. It's all hidden pretty much under here. You can see little portions of it. And then I took the diag plug grommet off, and this unit slips like perfectly into there. So, and then I've just cable tied up my excess. I'm obviously going to trim that, but yeah. And then I've just got my two terminals there. I'll wire it all up, test if it works, and we'll go from there. So with this, you got three settings. You got off in the middle, and then on is to the right, well, my right, and then auto. The auto is what you want, so it'll sense when the bike turns on, and then it'll give power. So if you just leave it on that, you won't have any dramas. And then, as I said, I'll just tuck that away nicely in there. And then we got the EvoTech Rad Guard. This has to be the cleanest one on the market for the MTs. To take this panel off, you get two bolts at the back, and on the front side you got two clips. On that side I haven't done it yet, so the two clips are there and there. Two bolts on the back there. Careful of these because one has a spacer and one does not, but there is like a metal bushing in this cover, so just be cautious of that. They're the only two bolts we're going to need to take out on both sides to mount it. This is why it's a good reason to get a rad guard, because you can see there is a couple of dents in this already, but this bike is very low Ks and it already has some damage on the radiator. Nothing that's caused a leak or anything, but this will prevent that. Another thing too is you got the bumpers you go on the back of the rad guard so that it doesn't rub against the radiator itself. The reason I went with the Evotech one is it looks clean as, and it's OE fitting, so that's bolted up now. Once I put these panels back on, you won't even see any mounting points. I did see another reputable brand making it and there was cable ties involved. It didn't sit well with me paying so much money and I had to cable tie it. So I went with the Evotech one that mounts through these two holes, which basically just hold the inners of these side panels on. We'll pop those covers back on and then on to the next. We got the full suite of GB racing covers. It does have one from factory, but I'm pretty sure these ones, yeah, these are all FIM certified. It's cheap insurance. If you slide and you scrape up your stator or your clutch basket or something like that, you're going to be up for big dollars. Alright, so with the factory one off, I mean, it's pretty cool that they come with one to begin with, but it's very thin. There's literally just a bit of foam. Like the second, even just the weight difference between these two is crazy. You can hear that difference, like that's solid. And yeah, I don't know what this is on the inside, I guess some baffling or like a crumple zone, I guess. I'm obviously going to give this a bit of a wipe down before I put this on as well. I only took the 3 bolts out for this cover because you don't want to unsettle the gaskets. You don't want to take them all off, but I'll just sort of line it. So I'm going to have to put some other bolts back in and take some other ones out by the looks of it. We'll do water pump next, and even this packaging's nice. Tells you the weight, which look, I think we're increasing the weight obviously, but I think the protection is better than the weight we're losing. Inside you get your cover and your instructions and your bolt pack. Look at the bolts that need to be removed. Remove them and put the new ones in. It says to take out these 2 bolts first and then take this one out. You're going to drop a little bit of coolant. It reckons you'll drop 6 drops. Small bolt. put a copper washer over it, put it through the cover on the bottom hole, and then put another copper washer on the back side of it. Lucky last, the alternator cover or stator cover. Make sure this little bracket goes back on, it doesn't slide down like it's doing on mine. Now that she's modded and protected, we're going to be sending it. Let us know in the comments what you want to see us do. Do you want to see us go drag racing? Do you want to see some track days? Or maybe just some street riding style vlogs? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.